Have you ever felt like a woman was giving you signs, but you couldn't tell if she actually liked you or if you were just imagining things? Here's the truth most men never hear. Women rarely say what they feel directly. Instead, they communicate through subtle signals, tiny behaviors that most men completely miss. And the crazy part is this. Sometimes a woman can be strongly attracted to you, but if you don't recognize those signals, she might assume you're not interested and quietly move on. So today, I'm going to reveal some of the hidden signals women send to men when they're attracted. These are the small psychological cues women use without even realizing it. Most men overlook them completely, but once you understand them, you'll start seeing them everywhere. And the last signal I'm going to share might completely change the way you understand female attraction. Let's start with the first hidden signal. The first signal is when she mirrors your behavior. Most men don't realize this, but when a woman likes you, her brain naturally starts copying small things you do. If you lean back in your chair, she might lean back too. If you take a sip of your drink, she suddenly picks up her glass as well. If you speak a little softer, her tone might match yours. This is called psychological mirroring, and it's one of the strongest subconscious signs of attraction. Why does this happen? Because when we feel comfortable and emotionally connected to someone, our brain tries to create harmony. We start syncing our movements and energy without even thinking about it. But here's what women actually notice. If you mirror her slightly as well, it makes her feel even more connected to you. That's something most men never think about. Now let's move to the second hidden signal. The second signal is she finds reasons to continue the conversation. A woman who isn't interested will usually keep conversations short and polite. But when she likes you, something different happens. Instead of letting the conversation die, she keeps it alive. She might ask follow-up questions. She might bring up a new topic. Or she might respond in a way that invites you to keep talking. For example, if you say you enjoy traveling, she won't just say, "That's nice." She'll ask something like, "Where was your favorite place you've been?" That's not random curiosity. That's investment. Because when a woman is attracted, she wants the interaction to continue, even if she doesn't fully realize she's doing it. Now here's the third signal, and this one is extremely common. She playfully teases you. A lot of men misinterpret teasing. They assume if a woman jokes about them or challenges them, she must not like them. But often the opposite is true. Playful teasing is actually a sign she feels comfortable around you. She might joke about your music taste. She might lightly challenge something you said, or she might laugh and say something like, "You're trouble, aren't you?" That playful energy creates emotional tension, and tension is a huge part of attraction. It's her way of making the interaction fun instead of boring. And most men don't realize this, but teasing is often a woman's subtle way of flirting. Now let's talk about the fourth signal. She remembers small details about you. This is one of the clearest hidden signs of interest. When a woman is emotionally curious about a man, she pays attention to the little things. Maybe you casually mentioned your favorite food, or the sport you played in college, or even a random story about your dog. Then days later, she brings it up again. "Hey, didn't you say you love sushi? Did your dog ever recover from that surgery you mentioned?" That's not coincidence. That's attention. Because here's what women actually notice. They tend to remember details about people they feel emotionally drawn to. If she recalls things you barely remember telling her, that's a powerful sign you're on her mind. Now, before we move to the next signal, I'm curious about something. Which of these signals have you personally noticed from a woman before? Have you ever experienced one of these moments and only realized later that she might have liked you? Write it in the comments. I read the comments all the time, and it's always interesting to see what experiences different men have had. All right, now let's continue. The fifth hidden signal is she adjusts her appearance when you're around. Most men completely overlook this, but when a woman feels attracted to someone, she becomes more aware of how she looks around him. She might fix her hair. She might straighten her clothes. She might check her reflection in her phone. Sometimes she might even touch her neck or face while talking. These small adjustments are often unconscious. Her brain is basically saying, "I want to look good right now." And while she may not say anything about it, her body language is doing all the talking. Now let's move to signal number 6. She finds reasons for small physical contact. Physical touch is one of the strongest attraction signals, but women often keep it subtle. Maybe she lightly touches your arm while laughing. Maybe she taps your shoulder when she's making a point. Maybe she gives you a playful push during a joke. These touches are usually brief and casual, but they're important because physical contact breaks the invisible barrier between two people. And here's what most men don't realize. Women usually don't initiate physical contact with men they feel uncomfortable around. So if she's touching you during conversation, even lightly, it's often a sign she feels safe and attracted. And now we're at the final signal, the one that surprises a lot of men. She gives you extended eye contact. Eye contact is one of the most powerful forms of nonverbal communication. When a woman feels attraction, she often looks at you longer than normal. Sometimes she'll hold eye contact during a conversation. Sometimes she'll glance at you from across the room. And sometimes something even more interesting happens. You catch her looking at you, and she quickly looks away. That moment right there tells you a lot, because attraction often shows itself in the eyes before anything else. But here's the key thing to understand. No single signal proves attraction by itself. However, when several of these signals appear together, mirroring, playful teasing, remembering details, touching your arm, holding eye contact, the probability of attraction becomes very high. Most men miss these moments completely, but the men who learn to recognize them suddenly start understanding women in a whole new way. And once you see these patterns, you'll realize something fascinating. Women are constantly communicating interest, just not always with words. If you enjoyed learning these hidden signals, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because here we break down the psychology of attraction, dating, and relationships in ways most men have never been taught. And trust me, there are many more secrets about women's psychology that we're going to uncover together.